Hello to everyone. As the coronavirus spreads across the world, leading organizations need to ensure the health and safety of hundreds of thousands of employees as well as millions of customers. This confusing, fast-changing situation demands scalable and flexible technology. That is why One Key and Iris, which is an IT company based in Douala, Cameroon, work with a major healthcare company, one with over 200,000 employees and care providers, to deploy an emergency response app built on pega platform. This application enables organizations to track, manage the health, safety, and availability of its entire workforce. Okay, now let us take a deep dive into the functionalities of this application. So here I'm simply going to log into the application as an employee with the privileges of carrying out a risk assessment on behalf of other employees. So I'll log in. So here, this is the interface. I have the employee profile here. So now I want to begin a risk assessment of an employee in the enterprise. Let us see, take new, then we go to COVID-19 risk assessment. On the risk assessment page, we have here to the left, we have the capture information, which includes the employee personal information and certain questions. So to the right, we have a link that takes us to the Nigerian Center for Disease Control website, where we shall have information about the COVID-19 virus. So here, as you can see under the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, here you have an overview of the virus status. To the right here, you can see the various states and then the numbers that have been contaminated and so on. Then here also you can see certain guidelines that are to be followed for those in certain areas or those who have been contaminated and so on. So our application actually matches certain response with certain guidelines found here. Okay, let's go back now to our application. We'll see, maybe we want to do a control and assessment for a particular employee. So I'll just select the employee ID. Automatically the other fields are filled. So the employee name here is Adio Amor. So then moving downward, we have a series of questions that we are to fill. The response of these questions will be compared to the Nigerian Center for Disease Control guidelines in order to determine the risk exposure of this particular employee. So we will just move quickly to respond. Let us say, yes, I have been tested. Then you specify a date. Let's say on the 1st, and I assume I have been tested, maybe negative. Then I don't show any symptoms. Then have you traveled to any of the risk locations? You can see those risk locations using this link, which will take us to the previous websites where we have a list of the cities and the number of people contaminated. So yeah, I will say maybe no. Have you been within 6 feet of anyone who has tested positive for the COVID-19? I will say no. Yeah. Then are you able to work from home? Obviously yes. Then do I need any additional IT equipment, maybe a laptop or a computer monitor? Then yeah, I confirm that all the information provided is true. So once I hit the submit button, the system is automatically going to compare this response with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control guidelines and then give us a risk exposure level. So here I click submit. Then automatically I have my results. So they say based on your response and per the NCDC guidelines, you indicate to be at a low risk of exposure to the COVID-19. So we will just confirm and then submit these results to the hierarchy so that the manager should have an overview of the employee status no matter where he is found in the country. So here we will just click submit. So now after submitting the end results, for example, let us look out and then log in as a manager. So here on the manager dashboard, we have an overview of his employees' location and their various status. So here you can see that in Nigeria he has 3 employees who have done the assessment. Then in Cameroon he has 1 employee. So the data are being populated automatically as their employee takes assessment over and over to keep the manager updated on the status of his various employees. So we just did one for Adium. We will need to confirm the status of Adium. So here I'll select this. Then we see the various information provided by Adium and his result status. So automatically we have this email that is being forwarded to Adium. So here we are to confirm there's no need for us to take any action since Adium has a low risk. We will just submit. So in case Adium starts showing certain symptoms of the COVID-19 virus, all he needs to do is to log in into the system and update. So he just needs to log in the system and then update his status. So here he will see his last status. So above is your recent risk assessment. If your condition has changed, please update your assessment. So let us say his condition has changed. So here I will update the risk assessment and then provide the current information. So here, have you been tested? Let us say he was tested just recently, maybe on the 3rd, and then now he was unsure, the results are not yet out. Then he has a little bit of, let us say, fever. Have you traveled? We maintain no here. Are you able to go home? Yes. Okay, let us confirm this information and then submit once more. Okay, so now based on the response we have given, Adium risk of exposure to the COVID-19 virus has been classified as high. This is a dangerous situation. So let us submit this to the hierarchy for further actions to be taken. So here, submit. Now let us log in back as the manager to see what's happening. So here now you see that there's already a risk, an employee with a high risk, which is already indicating here on the manager's dashboard. So we need to take further actions. We look for that employee. Here is the employee. Good. Now we see he has high risk, symptoms, fever. He was taken test. We don't know. Okay. Now these are the results of the employee. Then as a manager, we need to take certain further actions. So we have the required action plan here. We can contact the employee and discuss topics such as maybe self-quarantine, self-care, public health service, for example, maybe building access restrictions. That is very important. Then here now we are going to notify the security to restrict building access for this employee, and we can also notify additional parties about his present condition. So here, after checking all action plans to take, we'll click on submit. So now there is also a possibility for this particular employee to also recover from this virus. So when he recovers from this virus, he needs to update again his status. Normally our system waits for a given period of time before relaunching the reassessment notification to the employee. So here we have due in 5 days from now. So normally the system is supposed to wait for 5 days before asking the employee to re-update his status in case he had recovered from the virus or in case certain things have changed. So for that we will skip the 5 days. We'll take yes, continue. Automatically the employee is going to be notified to retake a risk assessment. So we are going to log off, then logging back as our employee. So now we have, please do a reassessment on your condition and update the data accordingly. So here he clicks just on update the risk. We can even see the email that is being forwarded to him, asking him, hi Adjo, as your condition change, you need to be reassessed and confirmed from the authorized department. So complete at the earliest. So we have this email that has been sent to the employee to complete to redo his assessment. So let us say the act below is your risk assessment as your condition changed within the last 5 days. We'll say yes, submit. Then we are given now the possibility to redo an assessment. So here we will say we just recently took the assessment again, maybe yesterday, and this time around you were tested negative. So you have no symptoms of fever, you have been in contact with no one, and you are able to work on yes, requirements, we confirm and submit once more. So now we have a risk exposure level of low. So here we are simply going to confirm once more and then submit to the hierarchy so that different actions should be taken. They should give me back access maybe to the building. So here I submit again. Then later on I should log off and log back in as a manager. Then on my dashboard this time around I should have a notification showing me that I have one employee which is of low risk, so I need to confirm that information. So now by confirming, I need to just match the given results I may have about the employee with the NCDC guidelines. So here you can have a link to the NCDC return to work guidelines. So what are the requirements for your employee to return to work after contaminating this virus? So if he meets the requirements, now I need to confirm that he meets the requirements. I need to notify the security to enable building access and maybe notify also other employees about that. So here now I just submit the results and that is done. So we should not forget here that the employee also requested for certain IT equipment in order to work remotely. So now to end this demonstration, I'll simply connect as an IT manager and then confirm the tools requested by the employee. The employee requested, so it was Adjo Amo. So he requested a laptop and a monitor. Okay, I will just confirm that. And that's it for this demonstration. Please call on the population enterprises to contact us in order for us to deploy these applications in their enterprise for the safety of their employees and customers. Thank you very much.